Hey guys, welcome back to Code Your Trade. This is the fifth video of the series, which is coding a trading strategy from scratch. In the last video, we coded a function to handle universal exit and all the open position and open order, and also handle the situation where SL is not placed correctly. In this video, we'll look into the next part of the strategy. This will be a little tricky, so please follow along. Now that we have successfully placed our straddle order and SL for those, next part is if any of these SL is hit, we will open the same leg position matching the premium of the open leg and trail the SL of the open leg to 15%. Let's go code it now. We'll come to our event handler order update function, and inside this function, if you guys remember, we have already been using the C first SL and P first SL remarks we gave while we were placing the SL for the first time. Now we'll take this to our advantage and make a completed scenario. So here I'll type completed scenarios. What this means is, what if the SL we placed is having a status of complete? This means our SL got hit. So what I'll do now is, if remarks in tick data and tick data remarks is equal to CE first SL and status in tick data and tick data status is complete. So in this case, we'll just introduce a new variable called CE first SL hit, and we'll make this as true and print CE first SL order completed. We'll remove this print and we'll create this variable. So we'll come to the top of the event handler function, we'll keep this, and we'll come to the top where we define all the variables. We'll say C first SL hit is equal to false. We'll come down, and in our main function, which is looping for every 2 seconds, what we'll do is we'll say if C first SL is true, and we have to consider the fact that only the C first SL is hit and not the P SL. So here we'll check that condition also. We'll say P first SL hit. We'll create this variable next. So we'll say hit is equal to false, and we'll introduce one more variable called second iteration executed. This means if again any of these SLs get hit, then we'll close the position and orders. So to track that, we'll say second iteration executed is equal to false. Then we'll say second iteration executed to true, and inside this we will call a function called as place order for CE. So this function will take in the PE token. So this is how we'll find the price of the open PE. Now we'll code this place order for CE function. Now we'll come to the top, and before the main function, we'll create this function called def place order for CE, and this will accept the PE token. Here we'll use 3 variables. So we'll do global, and we'll use universal exit triggered. We'll use PESL order number, and we'll use first PE strike. If you guys are confused why we are taking all the PE values while we are placing order for CE, it's because we'll be placing CE new order with the price of the PE open leg, and this PESL order number will be getting while we place the first SL, and the first P strike we have assigned when we place the straddle. After this, we'll create a try except block, and inside the try block, I'll say print the P token. This is for us to confirm that the P token is correct, and after this, we'll say P LTP is equal to get LP value, and we'll pass in the token to this function. Now we'll create this get LP value function. We'll come to the top, and we'll say def get LP value. This will accept the token, and below this we'll just print this token just for confirmation. After this, we'll use the C Websocket tick data which we created in event handler feed update. So if you guys remember, in the first videos we created this variables which will be storing the tick data of the first 1500 or 1000 strikes which we described. We'll come to the top to that function, and we'll give P Websocket to. After this, here we'll have try except block, and in the try block we'll say token is equal to int of token, because the token might be in a string value, and the token which we'll be getting in the C Websocket or P Websocket dictionary is in int. So if you don't convert string into int, we'll get issues. Now we'll say if token in C Websocket, we'll do print f, and we'll say token is found in the C Websocket, and then we'll return the LP value against this token. We'll do elif token in P Websocket. We'll do the same thing. We'll print we have found this token in P Websocket, and we'll return the the LP of this PE WebSocket. So now this function can be used in a common way for finding both the LP value for CE WebSocket and PE WebSocket. So after this, we'll do else. We'll say print we have not found any token in both the dictionaries. If this is the case, we'll return none. In the except block, if there is a value error, we can do print invalid token format and return none. We can have one more except block. This is for general exception. We'll do exception as E and print the error message and return none. We'll go back to our place order for CE function. By using this get LP value function, we'll be getting the last traded price of PE position. Now we'll just log this PE value just to confirm we are in the right track, PLTP, and next we'll check the condition. If there is PLTP, that means if PLTP is none, we'll return a value error. We'll say rise value error failed to fetch LTP for PE token. Now that we have the PLTP, we have to find the C strike which has closest trading price as P strike. For that, we need to find the token of CE where it has a price close to PLTP. We'll write a small function which will loop through our CE WebSocket dictionary where we are getting tick data from WebSocket. So this is the function we have wrote. Let me explain what it does. First, we'll be iterating over each key, that is token in WebSocket, and for each fetching its LP, that means the last price, or 0 if the last price is missing, and converting it to float. Then we'll compute the absolute difference from PELTP. We'll pick the minimum difference, that is the smallest difference between the both. That's how we'll be getting the closest token CE, which is the token we'll be using to place the new CE order. Okay, after this, we'll handle the error case. That means if there is not a closest token CE, then we'll raise a value error. After this, we'll be using the CE token to get the trading symbol of the CE. So we have a function called as get codes from Shoonya API. If you were to go into their documentation, and this get codes function accepts two things. One is the exchange and the token, and in return we get all the information related to that token. That means we'll be getting the trading symbol and many more data. We'll come back to our function. What we'll do now is, when we have to send data for this get codes function, it has to be in the string format. So we'll convert this token C to a string format. We'll just do str and closest token C. After this, we'll say CE result is equal to api.getCodes, and exchange is NFO, and token is equal to closest token str. We'll just print the CE result, and after this we'll check for error condition. What if there is no CE result, or if TYSM, which is a field in the result section, that is the trading symbol, not in CE result, then we'll raise an value error, fail to fetch CE codes. After this, if everything is good, we'll just say trading symbol CE is equal to CE result, and we'll access the TSYM from this, that is the trading symbol. Now that we have the trading symbol CE, we can go ahead and place the order for this one. As I've already explained how to place an order, I won't be going through this again. You can check out my old videos to see how we have wrote this function, which is used throughout the program. We'll come back to our function. After this, we'll check if our order is placed correctly. So we'll say if not placed second CE, or place second CE stat is not equal to OK. We'll raise a value error, and next we'll do time.sleep of 3 seconds. So what have we done till now? First, when we got the PE token, we wrote a function to get the LTP from this token, and next we found the CE token which has the similar LTP of PE. Then we got the trading symbol from this token, and we placed an order for CE. So this means 50% of this functionality is done. The next part is to place 15% SL for the newly placed CE order, and to modify and trail the open SL leg we add for PE to 15%. Okay, now we'll use single order history API endpoint by Shoonya to get this order status. What we'll do now is, we'll do CE order status and API dot single order history, and this will accept the order number. Order number is equal to place second CE, which is this one. We'll access the Noren order number here. So this will go to the single order history API endpoint, and this is the data we are getting back. If you guys can see, there is an average price, and this is what we are interested in. After this, we'll actually have one more condition to check if our order is placed successfully. Why we need this is, let's say we get the OK condition in the first error checking and we might have a rejected status. In that case also we'll get a status OK. In this condition we are checking if the status is anything other than complete. That means there was an error placing the order and we might not actually get the average price if we make an API call for this endpoint. We'll extract CE average price from the CE order status we got and we'll just print CE average price. After this, we'll calculate the trigger price for this CE average price. What we'll do now is CE trigger price is equal to, we'll use the function which we wrote in the previous videos, which is round to tick, which will make sure the float number is rounded to 0.5, which is the acceptable nifty pricing. So we'll do CE average price into 1.15, which is 15%, and we'll also calculate the price as we are placing an SL order and not SL market order. We'll just have another 0.15% added to the CE price. After this, we'll place the CE SL order in the same way we placed our CE order here. Instead of placing a market order, we'll use an SL limit order. It looks something like this. After this, we'll do error checking condition here for our CE order. And now that we have placed the CE SL order successfully, the next condition is to modify the open leg SL to 15%. So that means our open leg is PE and we have an open SL order for that one. First, we'll calculate the trigger price and price for this PE. PE trigger price is equal to rounded to tick. We'll say PE LTP into 1.15. We are already getting this PE LTP here at the top of our function. So we don't have to make an API call again explicitly to modify this order. So we'll also calculate the PE price. Once it's done, we'll do modify PE leg and we'll call modify order API endpoint, which is this one, and this expects some of the inputs, that is exchange, trading symbol, order number, new quantity, new price type, and new price and new trigger price. We'll pass this accordingly. We'll come back to our function. This is how our new modify orders looks like. So we are getting PESL order number and we are passing the exchange, we are passing the strike, and we are passing trigger price and rest of the things which is expected. We'll do an error condition for this one. Once it's done, our function is now complete. And here in the except condition, we'll do except exception as E, and if there are any exceptions inside this function, we'll just print this error condition and we'll make universal exit triggered as true, and we'll call universal exit function. Now we have successfully handled this condition. We'll come back to our main function, and in this main function, if you guys remember, I told we'll create this P first SL hit later in the video. Now we'll create this variable. We'll come to the top of our program, and below our C first SL head, we'll create the P first SL head is equal to false. We'll come back to our main function. We'll just copy this one and paste it below. Instead of CE, we'll be doing the same thing for PE. So we'll just change the conditions, and instead of place order for CE, we'll do place order for PE. Instead of passing PE token, we'll pass in C token this time. I won't be writing this function again. What I'll do is I'll just modify the function we wrote earlier, place order for CE, and I'll modify it in such a way this works for placing PE also. So I'll just paste the code below. This is the exact same function as CE, but I've changed wherever the CE was there to PE and accordingly. Now that we have handled this condition, we'll come to our event handler order update function. I'll just copy this one and I'll paste it below, and I'll change this according. So P first SL now will be true, and here instead of P first SL, this will be P first SL. Remaining everything will stay same. Just have this P first SL hit in our global variable list so we can access this. After this, there is one more condition, that is if our second SL, which is the SL we'll place for any of these second SL we'll be placing, the remarks which will be given as second SL, if that is complete, we'll make the second SL hit variable as true. So it looks something like this, and we'll do the same for this one. We'll have this in our global list, and we'll come to the top where we're defining all the variables. We'll have this as false issue. We'll come back to our code. All the functions what we had to do in our event handler order update are complete. we'll come back to our main function. Here we are handling multiple scenarios. That means what if the first SL hit will be CE and what if the first SL hit was PE. Again we'll have one more condition. This will be little tricky, so go through this twice. We'll check if the CE SL is hit and PE SL is hit and second iteration executed. This is the condition. Or we'll check second SL is hit and second iteration is executed. Why do we need this? In the perfect scenario means the first SL will be hit, CSL will be hit, and again the second PESL will be hit. But what if the CESL hits and again our second CESL get hit? So in this condition we need this scenario to happen. If this is the case, we'll just print the second iteration SL is hit and we are closing all the positions. We'll call universal exit function here. We'll just break and close the function. We have finally completed the code. In the next video we'll run this code in live market and see how everything is happening as per our code. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Subscribe for more content like this.